Hello and welcome to the WIHS Journal Public Affairs program. I'm Jerry Williams. Well, the After Hours Clean Comedy House show took place at the Apostle Store in Southington. Drew Crandall, the president of the Connecticut Radio Fellowship, was in attendance, and he gave an altar call at the end of the show. I was on the scene as well, capturing sound and interviews. And you'll hear portions of what I captured happening now on the WIHS Journal, its news and public affairs.
She has a heart of gold, and she loves God, loves Jesus, and love you guys too. Well, come on, give it up for the one and only Savonda Latrice.
Awesome. Give it up for Dr. B. Give it up for Ian Frosty the Snowman. Give it up for JC. Give it up for my Puda. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. Just give it up for him. That's all, y'all. That man had a rough day today. Give it up. His name is Jerry. That's his real name, but I call him my Puda. He takes very good care of me. He's my personal Uber driver, usher, and armor bearer. All right, so y'all got some acronyms to work with tonight. Y'all give it up to him. I know Jerry had a rough day. He took a trip. Not like most of y'all do. Y'all take a trip and go on vacation. Jerry had a trip on a skateboard tonight. Poor thing. Just busted up himself, busted up the cell phone, busted up everything. Poor fella. Oh, God bless him. But yeah, it's true. Everything I'm up here, don't be making the people think I'm a liar. Yeah, I tell the truth when I'm up here. Sometimes, you know. I mean, the men are scared, so I don't know where they at. And I refuse to go to the nursing home to get a man. I refuse to do that. That's like being extra desperate, right? I refuse to go to the daycare to get a man.
So how many of you are for date night, really? How many are date nights, all right? The man's laid back there with his hat on, and he's not sure whether he was kidnapped or run here or not. All right, so, sir, how many years you been together, sir, with that lovely woman? You know, when a guy looks at a woman and you don't know how long he's been with her, that's a problem.
We are at the conclusion of After Hours Comedy House Clean Comedy here at Southington, and I'm with Ian Frost. He was one of the comedians. How you doing, Ian?
Doing excellent, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What's your backstory and how you got your start in stand-up comedy, and what inspired you?
All my life, I've really just been love to tell story and make people laugh. But really, what turned me on to comedy and showed me I could do it is when I was 19, I got diagnosed with brain cancer. I had 3 tumors in my head and given an 80% chance I was going to die. And in that moment when the doctors kind of gave me that news and said, hey, like, you're probably going to start thinking about writing a will, I looked and saw real sadness in my family's face and saw a real sadness. So I started, a switch came out of me, and I started making jokes and laughing, and it brought this light out of people. And it was just like, I like this. I like bringing this light out of people, because for a second you're laughing, you're taking a break from all the bills and all the stuff that's angry in your life, everything in your life. You just take a break for a moment and you just laugh and have a good time. You're enjoying a moment together, and it just creates this connection. Right. And then I did a speech for the Children's Hospital and at a gala for my doctor in front of 1,000 doctors and researchers. And then I was like, I can make a bunch of if I can make a bunch of doctors and researchers laugh, I could probably make some people at a bar laugh. So, you know, that's it in a nutshell, honestly. I can go on and on about.
Now, I grew up in the church a lot. Like, my grandfather's a pastor, my uncle's a pastor, so I grew up in church camp, you know, like just in like a camp. Like, it was a real camp. Like, your parents drove you up to New Hampshire in the middle of the woods, just dropped you off with a couple of college kids in like wooden cabins and just said, see you next week. I got a son, dog. Like, I don't let him out of my sight at the park, let alone in my household, let alone leave him in another state and be like, see you next week. Nothing ever goes wrong at church places. Nothing happens to children at church places. It's a beautiful place. It's safe. No, it's great. It was a safe place. It was awesome, man. It was great. It was great.
How long you been doing it now?
About 6-7 years.
And were you born and raised?
Connecticut. I moved all around my whole life, pretty much. But all around Connecticut. I lived in Hawaii for like a couple months. Just took a backpack and went there. Just a venture. I'm just a liver of life.
Funny stuff. Good job tonight, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Now explain this lovely young lady that's to your left right now.
Oh, this is my sweetheart, my darling right here, my sweetheart. This is my princess. This is my princess corn dog.
All right, Princess Corn Dog, how did you guys meet?
Well, that's what he said on stage is actually how we met. We met about a year ago, June 17th, at a comedy show in West Haven. So my coworker, he hosts comedy shows, and so he invited me to West River Hall in West Haven. And Ian says he held the door open for me, which I don't recall. So I was sitting at the table, with my coworker, and Ian walks up to me. We just have a lovely conversation. We connected. And so it was a bring your own food, bring your own beverage. So I'm like, have a seat. Would you like some of my chicken? He's like, no, I'm okay. So I gave him a look like, boy, you better have some of this food. So as he ate the chicken, I turned to him and said, we're married now. So that's true. So I didn't know he was a comedian. So he was called on stage. And when he rocked it, and when he returned, I gave him some wine. I gave him the rest of my food, which was jams and whatever other size I had. So, yeah. And our nicknames, people call us corny. So I'm like, you know what? He's King Corn Chip, and I'm Princess Corn Dog. So that's where our corny nicknames came from. So we're going to celebrate next Saturday in Puerto Rico.
And then there's like the infamous black churches. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They got people passing out, fanning themselves and whatnot. Like, they got a bunch of food for some reason. No clue. People just yelling all the time at you. You're just like, dude, you can't fall asleep in a black mass, dog, all right? Shoot, you're going to be up, hopping, clapping, dude. You're going to get some rhythm, all right? I look like this, all right? I can't dance for nothing. Watch me at a black church service, all right?
So what are your plans as far as...
We're looking at a beautiful future, It's definitely in talks of just building a future together. Getting rings definitely in the picture. She has a child, so I have a bonus son now. We have a beautiful family already, and it's just I see it growing and continuing.
I know. I tell him I'm tired of the commute, an hour commute.
Well, God bless you. Thanks for making us laugh tonight, Ian. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it as always. Anytime.
Take care of yourself.
You too. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Give it up for Ian. Come on, give it up here. Oh, y'all can do better than that. Come on, I messed up his name, all right? His wife didn't come and attack me too, all right?
And if you would like more information about what you heard today, call WIHS 860-346-1049, 860-346-1049. The opinions expressed are those of the participants, not necessarily of those of the staff or management of the station. I'm Jerry Williams for the WIHS Journal. It's news and public affairs.